Paulo.
Stop telling them. They're going to find me now. I'm confessing to not paying my parking tickets.
They're gonna come get you. In case you don't see him next week at Restaurant Punk.
You know.
Restaurant Punk, what's up?
Restaurant Punk.
Restaurant Punk.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
Oh, man. Is this the first time three of us are doing this?
I think so.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think we talked about bread before together.
Oh, okay.
The bread episode.
Oh, the bread episode. Yeah.
How can we forget the bread episode?
That was riveting.
I can't wait for the bread episode to come out.
That's a real go-getter, guys. Talk about loaves of bread. But yeah, let's get back to work now. I got a good one.
Okay.
You want me to tell you what it is?
Sure.
No.
No.
We could just sit here in silence.
Sit there in silence forever.
Take a little nap.
So a lot of our restaurants have parking lots and a lot of restaurants don't have parking lots. Mm-hmm. How do we feel about that? What do we think? Do we need a parking lot to have a restaurant? A successful restaurant?
No.
No?
Yeah.
I don't agree.
I know that having a parking lot is a convenience that that's nice to have when you do have one. But I know that there are a lot of successful restaurants that don't have a parking lot per se. But there are other places that people will find to park, be it street parking or, if you're in the city, obviously there's no parking lots.
I mean, in the city, don't you got to pay the parking lot just to walk around? I mean, that's an extra, $40 out of your pocket?
It depends on where you're at.
You know what I'm saying?
City,
now we're down here. It's a little easier to walk around, I guess, in Cape May.
It's more of a walk-in place, but in the city, you have to find parking there to get to a restaurant.
If you are like an employee and you're working somewhere that doesn't have parking, then you need to commute into where it is that you're working.
So you get a scooter?
Yeah. So like down in a city like Cape May, where there's not a lot of parking for.
No, there's parking, but you got to pay to park.
Yeah, there's street parking. But I mean, if you're, let's say, working a shift at 6 o'clock at night or whatever, and then
it's a late shift.
I know.
Okay, so 5 o'clock.
I want to work there.
Yeah.
Way to go.
5 o'clock shift, so you still need to get there at an adequate time to get set up or get ready for your shift at night.
Yeah.
So now you need to come in and find a spot to park.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not there, at 9 o'clock in the morning or 8:30 in the morning, now the street parking's full. You're out looking for parking, and then you have to kind of come up with alternative solutions to get to work. Like a lot of people that I work with actually drive scooters, so they'll park blocks away and then they'll scooter down to work.
Because it's free though.
That's
right.
Sounds like fun too. So
I mean, I always thought you needed a parking lot until I saw George's Place beachfront. But then I thought about it, I was like, you know what? It's busy because of where it's located. But I think if you have a parking lot, I think you can be even busier. You know what I'm saying? I just think parking lot brings more business into you. Because if I'm driving around, I can't find parking. Well, whatever, we'll be late. Or you know what I'm saying? It's gonna mess up your vibe. I think that's me. I think every restaurant almost needs a parking lot.
I mean, I don't know. I disagree. I look at other places.
Disagree.
I mean, I look at other places on our block or even further from our block where we're located, and they're casual dining. There's fine dining, and a lot of those places don't have parking lots. They offer parking, and people find a way to still go and patron those restaurants. And I know, even me that have gone out. And if there's no parking, I find another way to,
park.
Yeah, park. Or find another location to park, or I look around and I find some kind of way to go to the place that I want to go to.
Would it bother you more that you're paying $75 a pop, a plate, if there's no parking? You know what I'm saying? So now you're going to pay. You're paying all this money. We're just saying a couple goes out for $180, not including tip for a meal. Right. And there's no parking. So you gotta pay to park.
That doesn't come down to the parking aspect of the restaurant. I mean,
you're paying more money down.
But
where we just to pay to park though.
Then you're saying, oh, well, we're going to pay $75 a plate, but we have to travel 20 miles to get to the reservation. Now we're wasting all this gas type of scenario. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but a lot of even fine dining restaurants where we're at don't have parking at all.
Yeah.
And
let's take it out of our aspect in Cape May. Let's just think of everywhere else too. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody's in Cape May where we have 9 months out of the year to go crazy. But there's year-round places that don't have parking.
Well, I mean, there's even a year-round place within our group that does have a parking lot, but it's technically not their parking lot, and people still manage to find parking. And a lot of people don't even know that the parking lot behind there exists. Again, it's not advertised as their parking, but people still park on the street. People still find ways to go and patron their restaurant.
I agree with if you do have a parking lot, you would bring more customers in. At the same token, I don't think you need a parking lot to have a successful business.
I don't think you need one to have one, but I think if you have one, it's gonna not double your sales, but it's gonna make you more money in your pocket.
Yeah, but that's also gonna, how can I explain in such a way? If you have a parking lot, that just means more people can park. That means a longer wait. That means more frustrated people having to wait to get to their dining portion of the evening. If that makes any sense. There's a place in Courthouse that my family used to own. I'm not going to name any names. It had a parking lot. Small, but there was a parking lot, and we kept trying to buy the property next door to expand it to make more parking. But they wouldn't sell it to us, and then we sold the restaurant, and then they sold it to the new owners, and they tore down the house.
And got more parking.
And they got all this parking, so it's always full in there. You know what I mean? But there's now bigger lines outside, which is great for business, but it was doing great before too. You know what I'm saying? Like, people find, if you want to go to a place, you'll find parking. It's usually the people that have never been there that don't know what to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's once again, if it's a new place, you've never been there, that's a customer you're losing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, every time you walk into a restaurant, it's always that's a new customer. That person can tell somebody else to come. You know what I'm saying?
Think of it this way too. Like a party of 8 comes in, they all drove separate. Now they have 8 cars in your parking lot filled for one table. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's the ups and downs. I don't know, man. But I feel like you can have a successful restaurant. And what about like casinos? Like, I get it. There's the parking at the casino itself, but the restaurant itself doesn't have the parking. You know what I mean?
But don't you have to, like, because
you also have to pay to park.
But I think isn't it validated though if you go to the casino and go to eat and then
some casinos offer that, sometimes don't. Yeah. My restaurant has parking, but it's not for my restaurant. It's for
the whole estate.
Full estate, but you know, I benefit from it.
I mean, like Brian has all this parking, but it's like I'm not walking. It's not walkable distance. Like nobody's gonna walk to Brian.
Yeah, I don't even think it's really your parking either. I think it's just the marina's parking.
The marina parking, yeah.
But, you know, you're utilizing
we're only allowed to have actually like one spot. That's all we're allowed. But anybody can park in there. So I mean, for daytime, you can't park in there at all. For all the boats and whatnot.
We're talking about the front park or the back parking?
Both.
Oh,
so
wow.
To like a certain extent, there has to be some type of parking available to you, but it doesn't necessarily have to be your own private parking lot. You know, because especially like where you're located, right? Like if there was absolutely no parking anywhere, because like, and then here you are, you know.
Well, that's why I said I was trying to think. I think there's the one restaurant that does valet parking.
Right. I was actually thinking the same thing. I was going to bring it up. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's why I think it's amazing.
Yeah, but it's also a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but you know, that's the next step right there. You take it the next step. You pull into vintage. You say, "I'll take your car."
Right around the corner. But I know what you're saying.
I don't even know how I would even like go about even trying to run a valet parking lot right now. Yeah.
I mean, like where would you take the cars?
Well, you would need a lot.
You would need a lot also.
You would need a lot in that situation.
Or you need a parking lot.
Or go find off-street parking, right?
Or you'd have to go find off-street parking. But can you imagine having like 50 cars and then like parked all over the city? Now you have to find it.
That's what I'm saying also is that the restaurant we're talking about, which we're not going to name any names, have like a slew of cars for valet. They're not supposed to be parking there because it's a roadway. It's a one lane. You can't, but they do anyway. And it's like, well, what do you do at that point? It's like,
actually, I saw this year somebody like I remember I was out back taking out like trash, and there's another restaurant that's located very close to us, and I always see their valets running back and forth, and they do like these giant laps up and down, and running. So I'm listening to them, and they're like, "Did you find it? Where is it?" And they're like running, and then I can see the other guy come around. He's like, "I still don't know where it's at," and they like are like running around, and they're like, "Wait, I think Jim found it,and they're like running in circles, trying to find where
kids,
they parked this guy's car.
But they're in great shape.
All of them.
They're all in great shape because they're running around all day, every day.
But I want to eventually have valet parking at Brine at nighttime. You pull in, it's fantastic.
I mean, that'd be great too, but where are you going to park them?
I don't know yet.
On the parking lot?
Possibly.
Spend extra money to park it 2 spots away.
Just park it right there.
Park it at the other restaurant down the street. Why not?
I mean, it is a shame though when you do have, you know, like city parking, let's say, and then there is like meters, and then your guests come, they put X amount of dollars in the meter, and then, you know, they end up, maybe they don't put enough or their meal stayed like overtime, and then they end up getting a ticket. So now the cost of them coming out to eat as opposed to the what?
If they come to you with a ticket, do you pay the ticket?
I haven't had anybody come to me with the ticket yet.
I wouldn't pay it. I wouldn't pay it.
Well, you're an
I
asshole.
mean, I have my own.
Why would you pay it?
I mean, personally, I have my own stack of tickets from this summer that I need to, like to finish taking care of. Don't get me. Anyway.
My name's Nick Paulo.
Stop telling them. They're going to find me now. I'm confessing to not paying my parking tickets.
In case you don't see him next week at a restaurant,
Yeah, no,
we know where he's at.
Yeah.
Break the board out. Break it out.
No, but I feel like it's nice to have like your own private lot, although I don't think it's 100% necessary
Correct.
to function and maintain a successful
It's a convenience.
business.
It is
a great convenience to have for your guests and for your employees, but again, I don't think it's a make or break.
Well, even if
restaurant.
you have employees, you really can't. Employees shouldn't be able to park in the parking lots.
No,
yes,
they can
anyway.
always park somewhere,
But I know what you're saying.
But even in a situation like where you're located, okay, fine. How is anybody going to get there if there is no external lot and you have no way to valet, parking? Because even in that situation, where are you valeting people to? Like, where are you going to valet them to? To a certain degree, you do need some type of parking available to you. Does it have to be your own personal lot? No.
Well, I would think even valet, like we were talking about, is crazy enough because the insurance would have to be higher. Because what if
you're parking other
what
people's
if
cars?
you screw up their cars, or you're the best driver in the world, but then you get T-boned driving their car? Then who's
I never said I was going to valet.
I'm just saying, but the restaurant's responsibility, right? You're talking about paying parking tickets, but you don't worry about
That's Rick's problem. Just parking lot. All right, that's good.
I liked it. It's nice.
Nice. The three amigos. No, okay, whatever.
Yep. Pay your parking ticket.
Yeah,
Don't let them roll on.
All 16 of them.
Every restaurant needs a parking
That's
lot.
a lot.
Not really.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Great. Thank you.
Restaurant Punk.
Restaurant Punk.
Good night.
Out.
Goodbye. Till next time.
Pay your parking ticket or you're gonna get. Yeah, I have like 20 something.
What you got?
What do you want?